He is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Omaha, Nebraska.
Woo!
Where an incident at the Omaha Police Training Center sent one person to the hospital. According to the Omaha Police Department, a gun was fired during training and shrapnel hit an officer. OPD said that the person was awake and breathing and was transported to the hospital for treatment of their injuries. The investigation is still ongoing.
So someone lit one off into the ground next to their foot, and the shrapnel from the exploding round
went into their
ankle.
foot. Yeah. Or a piece of concrete, perhaps.
Yep.
Whatever. But wait, there's more. We both have stories from each of our hometown police departments this week, folks. We go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is not a I shot myself video. It's even more sad than that. The Sioux Falls Police Department has released more information on an officer-involved shooting that happened Tuesday afternoon. In a briefing held on Wednesday, Sioux Falls Police Chief John Toome said that authorities had been looking for Richard Olson, who's 36, of Sioux Falls, since last week. He had previously been sentenced on possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, blah, 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 a bunch of details I don't give a shit about. He was located at a Casey's at Russell in Minnesota. The Sioux Falls Police Violent Crimes Unit, a canine unit, and others responded to the scene to arrest Olson. But when Olson exited the vehicle, he was armed with a gun. Chief Toome said that an interaction took place which led to two SFPD officers discharging their firearms. Olson immediately dropped his gun and attempted to flee the scene. The canine unit was deployed and helped bring Olson into custody. At this time, authorities say that Olson brandished but did not fire his weapon, and he was not believed to be injured by the officer's firearms. He was taken into custody for his federal warrant, and the two officers who fired their weapons and missed completely were placed on administrative leave. The Department of Criminal Investigation is investigating the police-involved shooting, as they always do. So, giant shocker. The cops in my town can't shoot. You know why? Because I only know of one who ever shoots matches ever, and he doesn't shoot regularly. But I'm confident I know him a little bit, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't one of them. Because his daughter and my daughter are like besties, and I probably would have heard about it by now. So, plus, I don't think he would have missed. He wouldn't have been that fast, but he wouldn't have missed. So,
right.
Yeah, well done. Omaha and Sioux Falls Police. You guys should start shooting matches.
Beautiful boys. Yeah.
You should stop being shitty at that part of your job. It's kind of important.
You guys could do this thing where you hire high level USPSA shooters to come teach you how to shoot.
But they don't have NRA law enforcement instructor certification.
Correct. Yes,
how could they possibly hire someone that doesn't have an NRA law enforcement certification to instruct?
I know. It's sacrilege. I speak blasphemy to the police, but yes, it is the amount of rounds fired by police for no hits is always just shocking.
And the funny thing is, I would happily do the first one for free.
Yeah.
I've literally let me
offered.
come do this for free. And if your officers aren't actually better when it's over, then fine. Tell me to fuck off. But it's sort of part of the culture in my state, though. Like, they will not hire anybody who is not got some pieces of paper for their bona fides, and it's ridiculous.
Well, and it's literally to the point of they will not hire they will not work with anyone who is not a law enforcement officer already, or who is directly referenced by a law enforcement officer. Like I've offered to train my local shooting team. So the guys who actually used to show up to our matches, not many show up anymore, but I was like, you guys can hit me up. I'll train you for free. Never had a single one take me up on it. It was hey, meet me at the range. We'll pull out the shit. We'll fucking shoot some stages. Like, that's it. And not a single one hit me up. I can't get any. I offered to be the bad guy in their use of force classes, and they're like,
oh,
no,
they didn't want to get shot by you.
Yeah. Well, or
with
even
the airsoft or the Sims or whatever.
that or the like be the bad guy and like, you know, the physical restraint side. They're like, oh, you have to be like a law enforcement certified to do that. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm being the bad guy.
Yeah.
The fuck would I do? Why would you want?
On some level, though, I kind of get them not wanting you to be the bad guy when it comes to like hands-on apprehension training because it just looks hard.
Right?
Like,
no,
you're so much harder than the average person they apprehend. That
correct, 100%. And then you watch them work when they do find a guy my size. You're like, oh, this isn't gonna go well.
yeah, yeah. So there was all of that. A newsy news thing. Sort of interesting. Never thought this would happen, and I'm sure it won't last beyond the end of the current administration. But Pete Hegseth has now authorized off-duty service members to carry private firearms on military installations.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
So
because I don't fully understand, you know, all the military shit. But what like the official thing they authorized was that base commanders could authorize individuals, and so it's still.
Oh, so like, it's not a blanket. Hey, if you have a pistol permit from your state, you can carry on a base.
Right. I'm
Gotcha.
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure because
I didn't read the article. I just read the headline.
Right, and I'm basing this off of, you know, following comment sections and people.
Yeah, why would we read? Jesus.
Well, and
if I can't just have it spoon fed to me in a video, like what? Why do I even bother?
Right, and it is.
Oh wait, he did do a video. I didn't even watch that.
I mean, even if they do the video, it doesn't mean they're going to give you like.
No, it was actually Pete Hegseth did a video on X.
I know, but I don't expect him to actually give like, you know, like the details, you know,
yeah,
like or any thought pattern to, you know, like I love how the Apache helicopter pilots that like sat in front of Kid Rock's house because for some reason he's become the greatest thing since sliced bread.
He's a patriot.
Right. And so the military was like, hey, we got to investigate this. And Hegseth was like, no, you don't. And you're like, at $10,000 an hour, maybe we do need to check like what the fuck were they doing. But yeah, I get the rah-rah because like Caleb Giddings put out something about like, yeah, like herp-a-derp-a-derp-a-derp. And I'm like, every person that I know that was a sergeant in the military has mountains and mountains of stories of 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds doing the dumbest shit possible because they are first time away from home, unsupervised men around a lot of other men doing dumb shit. Mm-hmm. Add firearm. What could go wrong?
Or in this case, helicopter.
Right. Add helicopter.
I mean, this sounds like something out of the movie MASH. This, you know, I mean, this the end all be all? Like, things are taken so fucking seriously these days that it's just sort of like any little thing that goes sideways, it's ridiculous. Like, my dad was telling me about how in the Air Guard and Air Force, it used to be where, you know, you're working on jets and you're out on the flight line and you're working on the jet and whatever. Like when he was in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, like they had broken jets and, you know, they worked on them because they'd been trained to work on them. And if they needed to check a manual, then they did it. And they're also dealing with jets that he worked on A4s. So they're running into jets sometimes. They've got holes in them from, you know, anti-aircraft fire or just random AKs going off in the jungle. And so they're just doing whatever they can to patch them up, like meatball surgery on a jet.
Yeah.
But fast forward to, you know, by the time he was in his late 40s and 50s and he's in the Air Guard, maybe he's on a TDY, so it's sort of Air Force-y, and they have to have their technical order out there. It's not just a technical manual, it's a technical order, because if you break an order, then they can, like, court-martial you and shit.
Right.
You know, if he rode on the wing, like, there's video of him with his head and shoulders inside the body of a jet while it's still taxiing back to wherever it was taxiing to. Like he's getting ahead on whatever he's working on.
Oh, whoa. That's crazy.
If they did that in the Air Guard when he was in the Air Guard in the 90s, like, oh, Jesus Christ, there would have been, at least by the time he retired, it would have been like, holy fucking shit. And I guess the Air Guard now is just not nearly as cool a place to work as it was when this is coming from people who I know. But anyway.
Yeah, it's as when people have more time on their hands and there's more quote unquote accountability, then people pay attention to dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Like one of the really interesting facts is that in World War II, America lost something between like 400,000 and 600,000 men to combat. They lost 50,000 to accidents. And you're like, holy shit, that is the entire like Vietnam War combat casualty number that we just lost to accidents.
Wow.
So, yeah, during war, people really stopped giving a fuck.
Okay. So, moving on, since this is not another shooting show, that was a big tangent. Instructor Zero, I came across this video on Facebook today. It was a suggested video. I don't follow that lunatic. It was it called it a pressure testing drill or something like that.
Did you ever follow him? Like,
no. Anybody who calls himself Instructor Zero, I immediately was like, douchebag. No, not following that fucking guy.
Right. I followed him for like when I was first getting into the gun YouTube sphere, what would that be, like 2012, I don't know. He was one of the early, FPS Russia and just weird gun tubers that would come up and you're like, okay, like I'll follow this guy. He shoots fast. And it didn't take, like, even before he started shooting USPSA, his videos were always like 3-shot, like I fired 3 shots. Okay, it's done. Nothing else. And I'm like, that was weird. That wasn't really a demonstration of anything.
This video is an FMC pressure drill, fine motor control. And then there's some one-handed shooting that happens afterwards, like basically a bill drill on 3 targets after you reassemble the Glock 19 with one hand. So it's in its 3 parts or 4 parts, slide, barrel, guide rod, and frame, all in one hand, sort of tucked in the hand, like in a way that you can kind of get started with it. So the guy with a gas mask on and his hand just behind his back. I don't know if this is actually Instructor Zero or if it's some other guy. But then he does the old, he reassembles it by hand, which is, I've never tried. That would be tough. I will give him credit in a comment. He said, this is not a realistic drill. This is for pressure testing or whatever. It's a pressure drill. I just think it's fucking stupid. That's all. There's...
yeah,
shoot on the clock. There's a pressure drill.
It's a novelty. It's a party trick that, he can reassemble a gun one-handed while semi-blindfolded.
I wonder how many times he practiced it before he did it for the camera.
That's the other side. Or how many times, what cut was that? Was that the 17th cut? Yeah. The 18th, 27th? Like, it's like when you watch the videos, they go viral every once in a while where like Russian kids or North Korean kids will like disassemble and reassemble an AK, and they'll either do it blindfolded or they'll just like, it's just like an 8-year-old girl fucking disassembling an AK very violently. And when you actually own an AK, you learn it's really not that complicated. It's like taking apart Legos and putting them back together.
I didn't know how they came apart until my son had an airsoft one, and it kind of comes apart the same way. I was like, oh, that's really easy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's how you get the upper off of it. That's pretty slick.
Right. It's just a really weird like novelty trick that I remember. Do you remember the movie with Pauly Shore, In the Army Now?
I remember it. I don't remember it in detail though.
So I saw it. Yeah, there's a scene where like the special forces guys that they end up rescuing later. He's like disassembling a Beretta and reassembling it like on a timer at Chow, and then Pauly Shore like tries to disassemble his flashlight and the spring hits the special forces guy in the face. And I always was like, what the fuck? What are they doing? Like, I don't understand.
Taking apart a flashlight. That's awesome. Okay. We have we have had a YouTube channel for a while, but now the podcast is actually on the YouTube because YouTube, I found on a Reddit thread, you can just import it from your RSS feed to YouTube. So, boom, all of our podcast episodes are now on YouTube. And I don't have to do anything to get them there. It just happens. So, if you like the YouTube for listening, which I listen to lots of things on YouTube that I don't watch. So, if YouTube is a place for you to listen to our show, there's no video. It's just the cover art is the image, and that's it. But if you want to, there you go. It's there on YouTube, and it's for real now. I was doing it by hand, and it sucked. It was a lot of work to do that. But now it's there. Every episode is up there for you to listen to, and going forward they will be too. And Jeff is like, yeah, we got a YouTube channel now, so we can do like videos now. And I'm like, okay, we'll do videos.
Well, it could be. We've talked about it. I forget if we did it in the public show or the Patreon, but we talked about doing like watch-alongs and critiquing shit.
Well, the Patreon, we've talked about a number of things that we've never even come close to doing. But no, I was a radio guy, and there's a reason I was a radio guy, because video editing sucks. It's not that it's bad or the people who do it are bad. It's just it's a lot of work compared to dealing with audio. My son has gotten really deep into editing video now. He does After Effects and makes edits, because that's what the cool kids call them. They're edits to put on, Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok. And so he's doing edits now, and he's getting good at it. Like, he's doing some cool shit. And he's selling AirPod, like knockoff AirPods, to fund it all.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, we've got a YouTube channel. Just search Not Another Shooting Show, and you should find it. It's mostly podcasts right now. There is one other video of Jeff and me sort of not fighting when he threw me off when I had him pinned down.
Yeah,
last
that
summer
was fun.
Before that.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it again. That was pretty funny. So anyway, patreon.com/Not Another Shooting Show. It is only $3.57 a month. When you are listening to this, we will be just a few days away from the dark match at my club, Sioux River Sportsman's Club. Just search dark match if you're close enough and you want to shoot it. There's still room. I haven't looked in a while if I need to open up the last squad or not. Let's see. r/NASS on Reddit. The Blue Bullets buy is closed. Dan told me that the other day. He's going to do another one later in the year. MW Activewear, the finest jerseys for your match, plus free logos for your banners. Adam Grimclass at my club, April 24th and 25th. You can go to grimtech.com to sign up and then select the South Dakota date. Northwoods is May 2nd and 3rd, less than a month away from that one. There'll be over $1,000, not over, but $1,000 payout for LO and CO. I'm doing this so much better than Craig. PCSL Belt Championship is May 17th at Mission 160 in Texas. Great Plains section, June 6, 7. There's still where people are coming in off the wait list. I think I have a few slots available right now. Cornhusker Classic, June 27th, 28th. It's sold out too, but probably some waitlist stuff going on there. Rushmore State Championship at the new range in Rapid City, July 11th and 12th. You can get signed up for that. And Minnesota section, August 29th through the 30th at Forest Lake. Boom! Jeff, why do you always want an MP5?
Excuse me. Every time I've owned an MP5. The Turkish clone, I believe. And I liked it. I actually SBR'd it and everything. But, hey, when you deal with any H&K product, everything is fucking stupid expensive.
Yeah. Well, especially if it's the actual HK product.
Well, yeah, but even like MP5 mags, which, the MP5's been out since the late 50s, early 60s. You would think those would have gotten cheaper at some point. Nope, they're like $70 a piece for the 30 round mag.
Doesn't Magpul make mags for it?
I don't. They may have.
I thought they
but
do.
It was Magpul. Let's see. I don't think so. But the
yes, they do.
What?
PMags for G36, AUG, and MP5.
No shit. Well, things we learn.
Yeah. Oh, they have a D50 for an MP5.
Oh,
Like the
that's
drum
cool.
mag?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ow. No, but it's like, so I ended up selling mine. Oh yeah, there it is. The D50.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
It's
Right.
I mean, it's reasonably priced for a drum mag.
Right, for a drum mag. But so I ended up selling mine because so the starting issue for me is because I'm so big, SBRs don't work for me. Like
Yeah.
they are too short. That's why I went with the full stock, like the classic, Special Forces MP5 looking stock, not the collapsible. And even that was a little tiny, but the controls on an MP5 are just wrong because they're not meant for modern handling ergonomics. They were built under the idea of once I flip off, I flip to full auto and go bang bang till gun is empty.
Yeah. I would never reload before I was empty, ever.
Right. And so with an MP5, like that's the other thing is the reload is fucking stupid. Was, they didn't have optics. So you lock bolt back, remove mag, replace mag, then you get to do the fun HK slap, which is hilarious and fun. I support it. But if you have an optic on there and an optic rail, so you now have a place to cut your hand every time you lock that fucking bolt back. And then you have to like maneuver around your optic to make sure, you don't slap it and the charging handle at the same time. And you're literally supposed to slap it. You're not supposed to grab it and let it go. So it makes USPA it's not the best gun for USPA.
Not if you want to do well. If you just
Right.
want to shoot it and have fun, then it's fine.
Right.
It does that just fine.
But yeah, so I sold it, and it's one of the few guns I'm like, well, I shouldn't have done that. That was silly of me because like there was our gun deals that popped up and it was like $1,300 for one of these. And now the SBRs are free. You just got to do the tax stamp, and you can even get the SD, the suppressor built in one.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's much more convincing. And so I'm like, God damn it. I can't, they keep pulling me back in because every action movie, the hero should have an MP5 at some point. I mean, it is the gun of the good guy and the bad guy.
it's super cool. They're also insanely shootable.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, that roller delayed whatever system it is, it's just made to, you just hold it still and the gun and hold the bullet discharge button down and it just kind of stays mostly still. It doesn't really bounce around a whole bunch. So, yeah, they're super cool. Am I gonna buy one? They're not. I think they're super cool. I would never shame anyone for wanting to buy one, but I have other needs, other things that I really want to do, and I don't know why this video showed up on YouTube for me this morning, but it did. It's a 2-year-old TFB video about the title was "Why I Was Wrong About the Springfield M1A Tanker." It's almost like I'm supposed to buy an M1A and suppress it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I think is supposed to happen. Why this video showed up, I don't know. I hadn't done any Googling or looking at M14s or M1As or anything recently. It just happened to show up. James Reeves doing this video about the Springfield M1A tanker. It's basically a SOCOM with a wood stock, with a walnut stock, and then a shorter muzzle brake on it. And then I was like, hey, I know you can suppress those things. There's some, there's a special part you have to check, because the threads on a M1A, M14 are not normal. You can't just direct thread a can onto them. They're not that standard 5/8 or 1/2 inch by 24. But there is an adapter that you can buy to suppress it, and then you screw it on there, and then you need an adjustable gas plug from Schuster, and boom, you're cooking with gas, which I used to have that gas plug on my M1A just so I could run hotter hunting ammo through it. And now I think that's what I need to buy. Even though I just got the M1, it's like, yeah, that flow-through can, that's probably a good idea for an M1A, because less back pressure. That's an issue. Like if you just threaded a can on there without adjusting the gas, you would break the thing probably. But
yeah.
But I also had played the 2019 Modern Warfare Call of Duty, and Going Dark. He's running around with a suppressed SOCOM M1A, basically. Of course, it's going pew, as if it were totally quiet. And I watched a video of a guy who suppressed an M14 SOCOM or M1A, and yeah, that's not silent.
It's still going to be a loud beast.
But hey, that's my zombie apocalypse gun. Which, by the way, I watched Dawn of the Dead today because Netflix told me it was leaving soon, so I watched it, and that's actually a damn good movie. You ever seen that? 2004, Ving Rhames.
That's where they end up in the mall, right?
Yeah, they're in a mall because like the original Dawn of the Dead was in a mall as well. And this was sort of a reboot of the original, and it's actually a really well done movie. It got like a 7.4 on IMDb for rating. Like it was pretty good. But just like all zombie apocalypse movies, like everybody's doing, strong hand headshots on all the zombies, and they almost never miss.
Yeah, because isn't that the one where because it's in LA?
No, it's in Milwaukee.
Oh, which one am I thinking of? Maybe I'm thinking the original, because I remember they were like holding up like famous people on a card, and then there was a guy at like a gun shop that he was on his roof like shooting the famous zombies in the head.
Oh no, they were just using those as descriptors. That is that movie.
Oh, okay.
But it was just the guy who looks like the zombie that looks like Rosie O'Donnell. Was one of them I recall, and another one was Burt Reynolds.
Gotcha.
Because he was wearing like he had a mustache and was sort of reminiscent of Burt Reynolds, through binoculars at a couple 100 yards. Because there was another guy on the rooftop of a gun store. They couldn't get to them on the roof of the mall, but they were communicating with like whiteboards and so for entertainment they were watching him because he had like this huge surplus of ammo in his gun store that nobody stole before the zombies got all the way around him. So, yeah. No, it's a decent movie. It's on Netflix till the end of April, so highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Anyway, moving on. So, oh god, there's so many things. You were mocking a night vision guy. Oh wait, no, I wanted to go ahead. We'll do that, and then I'll talk about the sissy pistol.
Yeah. So, some dude posted on our Omaha about, are there any low-light gifted folks? And I was like, oh God, I already know where this is going. But basically he's a night vision person. And I find the night vision people really pretentious. No offense to the Kansas City boys that are coming up to the night match. Because this dude's like, well, where I'm from, we take hikes in nature, do urban exploring and shooting stuff under night vision. And I was like,
oh,
cool, bro. I live in Omaha,
so
Nebraska.
It's even douchier than that.
Yeah. And then
like you do urban exploring with night vision.
If you want a really good way to get fucking shot in the face, if I saw a dude walking around in fucking nods, I would pull a gun on them. I'm pulling a gun on them.
They are a mark.
Like at minimum, I know what your setup cost, homie. Like, but
I was like, there's that too. Like, yeah, okay, this thing is worth somewhere between $4,000 and $15,000, depending on what they're walking around with.
Right, and I was like, hey, you won't find many night shoots in Omaha. We don't have public land where you can do that, and none of our ranges can do it. And he goes, seems like there's potential for a range to capitalize on. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay. You are such a, like, I'm guilty of this and thinking that the USPA crowd generates funds. We really don't compared to the general public.
No.
But even USPA and other shooting sports are way, way, way more lucrative than the night vision boys. And it's like
It's a very small segment.
Yes, even at the night match, what do we have? 7 night vision boys?
I don't know. There's usually a fair number of them. I would have to look to see how many are signed up with that. But
I guess I'm. There's always like the squad we're always in. There's at least 2 or 3.
yeah,
and
because
so,
Nick's usually in our squad and he's got it, and then I usually make sure there's one other night vision person in that.
but
There's at least 2 in every squad. If there's enough, I actually have an all night vision squad set up, but I don't know if there's going to be that many because this. How many people are even signed up? We're up to 34, so we got a fair number. They'll trickle in this week, I'm sure, but
I'm not gonna lie. Watching them shoot the stages is both fascinating and creepy at the same time because you just see these little fire bursts going around. But I was just really annoyed with this dude, and I did mention, hey, if you want to shoot, a night match, like there's one in Sioux Falls on the 11th. But I was just like, bro. And then he went on. Apparently, he has like a training company. I don't know, like that whole thing. And I was just like, oh God, I don't like you. I already don't like you. I guess the NVG guys are not my crowd.
I guess not. You're so elitist, Jeff. My God,
I am.
It's just terrible. Like, oh, you stupid people who do things I would never do. How dare you? Yeah. Well, I'm looking here. The export is not giving me the answer to that question. Do you plan on using night vision? So I just literally have to go through every single guy in the match. Well, Nick's doing it. I know that.
Practice are stupid.
Yeah, it's like sometimes they would. I don't know that name. Okay, so we got 2. Because, I'm going to name drop. Focus Trip is going to be shooting night vision at the dark match. He have it? Nope. I don't know that guy. Okay. Now I'm on page 1. We're getting there. So as of right now, it looks like there's 5.
Okay.
4 or 5. It looks like 4 because I only see 2 Kansas City guys, unless this is another one. Nope.
So like 10-15% of the match will be shooting night vision.
More like 10% or less. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's just 2 Kansas City guys coming down with night vision, so. Yep. But,
interesting.
Yeah, and we had, because like all those guys were on our squad last year in the fall. And then there was another squad that had several on there, so. I mean, I'm happy to give them a place to play as long as they actually. I would love for one of them to DQ somebody, not because I want them to DQ somebody, just because I want them to DQ somebody. I want them to actually. I want to know they're going to call it if they see it.
Right.
That's all. But all the night vision guys that have been there, are the ones I already trust. So the fact that they're not getting DQ'd makes sense.
Right. It is a self-selecting group. Luckily, it is that. I mean, because all the Kansas City boys that came up last time were all like high-level USPSA shooters, weren't they? Like, and so, yeah, and isn't your buddy Nick like military or?
No, he wasn't military. He was the guy that went to Three Gun Nation National show.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Nationals. He was on the TV show for an episode.
Yep.
And he lost to Jerry Michalek in a pistol shoot-off.
What a scrub!
I know.
How dare he?
I know. Like, so him and Jerry were the bottom 2 in their heat or whatever, and then there's going to be a shoot-off. Now, Nick was great with a rifle. Like, he was fast at shooting with a rifle, even at distance, like plate racks at 50 yards. Like, he was fantastic with the rifle. Of course, it was his weakest gun, pistol, and of course Jerry Michalek is a fucking god shooting a pistol. So
right.
Yeah, he had to just kind of go for it, and and the only reason he was in the bottom two was he had a kind of a stupid penalty on his run. So, but yeah, so I mean, yeah, Nick's another guy I don't worry about either at all. So, all right, well, enough about you and your fucking elitist views on people who have night vision. Like, how dare they have money and spend it on fun things?
Correct.
And actually, my buddy Nick, I think, have I mentioned he just like rents an expensive hobby for a while because he sold a bass boat to buy the night vision.
Oh, Jesus.
Not a bass boat, but like a fishing boat. I mean, he didn't sell like $100,000 fishing boat, but he sold a nice fishing boat to pay for the dual night vision. And then to buy that boat, I think he sold off like all of his parachuting, like skydiving stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, he's balls deep, Nick. When he gets into a thing, he goes balls deep. But
I mean, that's a nickname right there.
Yeah, like his uncle-in-law or father-in-law gave him that nickname. He's like, you're balls deep. He just goes, you're balls deep, Nick.
Strange nickname for your son-in-law?
Yeah.
Hey, balls deep.
Yep. All right. So I shot the nickel-plated sissy pistol that my buddy loaned me. And it's a 45 Beretta, basically. Single stack 45 Beretta 92 is essentially what the gun is. If you want to see the video of me shooting it, it is on Reddit, where Austin is kissing my ass for some inexplicable reason. Because I posted the video, and after the very first shot, the magazine falls out.
Hell yeah.
Because the magazine release is right where my middle finger is going by under the trigger guard. The mag release is not placed great for a lefty, so I had to completely readjust my grip for the rest of it. But it shot. It was it's a little hard to shoot because like a lot of those pistols made around that time, the iron sights are very small. You know, they're very short, subdued, not easy to see while you're shooting. So, it's not like big old fat Glock sights or even M&P sights or whatever. They're just kind of hard to see. But no, it's a good shooting gun. But the video is really funny of me pulling the trigger and bloop, magazine poops out.
It was for first shot mag out. You're like, shit.
Yeah. I also look way fatter in that video than I actually am because it was cold yesterday. It was windy as fuck, and it was around 35 degrees. Luckily, the sun was out. That was the only redeeming feature. We were shooting after I taught a permit class, and it was not good. So I'm wearing a hoodie that's all bunched up. I'm very self-conscious about it. And then I had this big coat over the top, just to, like winter coat, keep me warm, cut the wind. And then I had a pair of gloves in my back pocket, like work gloves. And those were in there at a weird angle. So it looks like I've gotten like this extra mushy butt and this like extra gigantic gut. And I'm like, God, I look terrible in that video. Like, I'm fat, but I'm not that fucking fat. Jesus.
Looking like a chunky monkey wobble.
Oh, God, I look terrible in that. My wife got a couple new dresses. She was going to wear one for my daughter's graduation and then one like maybe for Easter or whatever. And she tried it on, and I'm like, I'm not saying it to her, obviously, but I'm sitting there going, when the fuck did your hips and ass get so wide? Well, she was wearing some super baggy sweatpants underneath that were bunched up under the dress. And so I was like, oh, that's what it was. Okay, never mind.
And youngins that are listening to this, that's a lesson.
Yes.
We don't say what's on our mind the second we think it.
No, you don't. You say it on a podcast later to complete strangers who don't even know her.
Oh God!
So,
but you did also justify Tommy Lee Jones in that you need to get rid of a nickel. Nickel plated sissy pistol and get a Glock.
Yeah, I got a gun, big one. That he says in the movie. Yeah, 8 rounds of pokey ass 45. I burned. The other thing I did after I got done with the class, I didn't take any video of it. The last 43 rounds of horribly fucked up 10 millimeter ammo that I had loaded up. I just loaded them up in the mag and burned them all off from about 20 yards away, and watching them spray around the target was just unbelievable. I can't believe how bad that ammo is. I just picked up 200 rounds of 10 millimeter. I did have it was the same price. I had grabbed the Fiocchi, and then I looked at the label, and it was like, oh, $12.50. Because usually when Fiocchi puts a velocity on the box, that's the velocity it's going to be out of your average handgun.
Right.
And then I remember they also had Federal in stock. And usually the Federal ammo is not going to live up to the velocity that's on the box. So I went back and got the Federal for shooting the dark match. I'll be a bitch. I'm going to go to the range tomorrow, and my son and I both have the day off from school and work, respectively. So we're going to go to the range, and I'm going to zero my centimeter for the factory ammo, and I'm sure hoping it was my ammo and not the dot or the gun. I'm going to bring my tools for the dot to take it off if it is the dot. I'm pretty sure it's not the dot because I had tested other ammo that was still not great, but it was better than the other shit. So, yeah, that's a thing. Okay. You're going to shoot gnats?
Yeah.
Like factory gun in Utah?
Yep.
Attaboy.
Yeah, so Steven hit me up for that one because I performed well enough at one of the matches, area, section, I don't know. I don't pay attention to this information. And he's like, hey, I know you don't normally, you always say you don't do these, but if you want the slot, you technically are the one who earned it. And I was like, oh.
You were next in line?
Yeah. I was like, shit.
Next in line who didn't say no. And I'll defend Steven here and every other section coordinator. Sometimes people say no to slots because, yeah, I did well in my area match, but I never go to nationals.
Right.
I mean, there's lots of people like that. So sometimes, yes, they're giving slots to their friends, but it's only after a whole bunch of people said no.
Right. And that's, I mean, for factory gun, I was one of the people that earned it. I think I was the top 5 or I don't know how it works if I'm completely honest. But because he basically said if I say no, he has the next person who wants it already lined up. Like it was not, whereas the limited optics one in Ohio, is that
what race guns in Ohio?
Race gun. He could not give that slot away. Yeah. He was publicly posting, does anyone want this? But yeah, it is a $450, match. Like it's not a cheap adventure.
No. Plus you're going to have at least 4 nights of hotel and airfare.
Right.
And a rental car probably.
Right. And so it's like, this is not a cheap adventure. This is $1,000, $2,000 adventure. So I can 100% see, we talk about like the invitational nationals and shit like that, but it's like, are people prepared to put $2,000 down to go shoot a match over a weekend? And I said yes. There, a part of me was like, fuck. Practice score did not help me. Steven had to be nice enough to link the match to me because every time on practice score that I Googled 6 hour, I got all of these 6 hour shooting matches. And every time I put factory, I got someone put factory for all of their matches. And then if I did nationals, I got 22 NRL matches because, and I'm just like, motherfuckers, how is your search function this poor?
Most
Luckily,
websites
Steven
that
is
are
nice
not
to me.
Google suck.
Yes.
Their search engines absolutely suck balls. I searched factory gun nationals, and I only get 3 matches that show up. Oddly enough, the first one is the North Texas sectional, and it's because in the description it says go towards earning a 2026 factory gun national slot. And then there's a couple of matches in Colorado that also show up. Yeah, even if you just put it, sometimes searching, you're better off putting in fewer words. But when you type in just the word factory, there is not a single match that shows up in Utah.
Right.
Not one. So
it was a pain in my ass.
you
but
can't. One thing you can do, if you check USPSA, scroll down on the match search page and check USPSA.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So then it'll only be USPSA matches. But still, I searched nationals and I get the Wisconsin sectional. I only get, and then I get the North Texas sectional, and that's it. Those are the only two matches that show up when I select USPSA and nationals. I think that's because it's not open for registration, maybe.
Right.
Like for general registration. So the best way if you're looking for nationals is go to the USPSA website under matches and then major matches and then click on the registration link for that.
Right.
But thank you, Practice Score, for making something complicated that should be so fucking easy.
Right. But yeah, so I signed up. There's a part of me that, if I survive my fight and do all the things that I want to, kind of take USPA a little seriously, try to see now that I'm in better physical shape, what I can push, but we shall see how well that goes. And I think I have travel buddies for that one, which helps me out. And, yeah, so I'm going to be at least that Nats this year.
Okay. Well, I'm glad one of us will go to a nationals then this year because you didn't go to any last year, right?
I have not been since production
21?
nationals. Yep.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's your turn to go. Ha-ha. All right. There was a if you're a person who pays attention to armed self-defense at all, you are aware of a guy who some people call my doppelganger. And those people are wrong because I am way more attractive than John Curry is. Even though he's gotten all buff, he's gotten on TRT and he goes to the gym and he's gotten rich and he's got a house with a giant wraparound porch now and he's
He doesn't lock the door for.
And he doesn't lock the door. And he goes outside with nothing but his cock in his hand to check to see who is broken into his house. He had a home invasion. Now, he posts this on Facebook on April 1st. The same day we posted the Dumpster Fire Shit Show episode as an April Fool's gag. I thought it was a joke. I seriously thought it was a joke. I paid it no attention. I saw this big, long description where he's, going into all the words because he uses as many words as possible when 6 will do. And I'm just like, oh, my God, what a lame April Fool's prank. Turns out it wasn't. He actually did have a guy invade his home in the middle of the night. And his son up late in the middle of the night playing video games. It's like... My son in the room next door is way more likely to face a home intruder than I am because he'll be awake in the middle of the night and I won't.
Right.
But yeah, so he had a home invader. And the short version of the story, he hears his son yelling at a guy like, "What are you doing here?" And then he goes out naked, lives in Phoenix, goes out there and there's a guy. He's like, "Oh, I was invited." And he just yells, "Get the fuck out of my house." And so then while his son had some sort of a weapon, I think. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, so his son has a knife of some sort because I think the initial story I read was on RCCW. And the title of it said, like, guy broke into John Korea's house with a knife, but it was actually his son had the knife while confronting this dude, and John Korea woke up to this yelling, walks out of his room butt-ass naked, or maybe Pooh Bearing it up, I'm not 100% sure, and finds dude, like, having a conversation, or his son yelling at this fucking dude, and so... Korea just yells at him, "Get the fuck out of my house." And then he goes, "Oh, wait, I should go get a gun." So he like runs back to try to get his concealed carry pistol out of his lockbox or something like that, and instead of the shotgun that he always says that he would fucking grab in this situation. And by the time he came back, I believe the guy went back out onto the porch and had like hopped off the roof and had run off. And they called Phoenix PD, and that's when he put in there that while his wife was on the phone, she also gave him some shorts because he was butt ass naked.
Yeah.
Just cocked to the wind.
And after he realized, oh, there's a thing going on, then he went back to go get his pistol and now decides I need a shotgun instead because that would have been better. And like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Whatever you shoot better. If you think you should have a shotgun, that means you're not very good with a pistol. I think that, to me, that's what that is. I mean, a shotgun is going to do more damage to fucking everything.
Right.
Bad guy and your house and anyone caught in between. The pistol will be a little more precise, do less damage for sure, but, whatever.
Yeah.
To each their own as far as that. But, like, the thing I found amusing was that it's the messiah of armed self-defense on YouTube, and he got caught with a home invader with nothing but his cock in his hand.
Yep.
And it was just funny to me.
Well, and it goes to this idea of the mythical, what people think is going to happen, and the actual real of what is going to happen, because people pointed this out. It's like, it does make sense why he didn't immediately grab his gun.
No, it does. And I'm shitting on him, and I also totally understand that. He's coming out of a deep sleep, like, what the fuck is going on? I wouldn't automatically grab a gun just trying to figure out, why is my son yelling out in the hallway? I'm not automatically going to think I need a gun. But
right,
because it was him, it's like, I'm surprised he didn't have a Beretta, with packing tape on his back. When he went out there,
straight prison wallet, that shit.
Yeah.
But
it's an LCP permanently up his ass.
Right, correct. And because again, the place I read this was on RCCW, so half the people are like, "Oh, you should have, domed that dude, like executed him, blah blah blah," and everyone else is pointing out, it's like, "Yeah, homie." You found you woke up to your son screaming, who was playing video games at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, which is not an abnormal thing in my house either.
Right. And so you would wake up and be like, God damn fucking kid. And that's where most people's assumption, especially if you have kids, is not, oh, that glass breaking is someone breaking in. It's, damn it, they knocked over whatever, or they dropped a plate, or your brain doesn't immediately go to, all right, throw on nods, get suppressed AR, let's start clearing the house. Now, if you live alone and you hear something break, yes, grab shotgun.
That's a different context, of course.
Right. And so,
but he's got like 3 or 4 kids.
Right. And so for me, as someone who trains people in violence, it re-justifies to me the idea of train around the idea of what's actually going to happen. What's actually going to happen is you're going to wake up groggy as fuck, not understanding what the fuck is going on, and you're going to be like, oh shit, something's happening. Like me being a smart ass on one of the comments, because I don't know the layout of his house, but he finds dude like squared off with his son. I'm like, flying front kick him in the back right to the spine and then fucking teabag him. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's like a jiu-jitsu black belt or purple belt. I don't know. He does jiu-jitsu. So like he can do the grapples, and he's just like, what does he actually do? Hey, fucker, get out.
Yeah. All he did was yell really loud, and the guy took off.
Right. And that's why when Lane does his class at my gym, that is one of the first parts he does is just fucking yell at people. Most people don't like being yelled at. It
be
messes
scary
with our head.
That's what the entire animal kingdom does. Like, when I love cat videos, I really do. I think dogs are boring and cats are awesome. And yes I know people are going to judge me for that, and I don't care. But what do cats do when they're like going to fight another cat? They sort of turn sideways, they curl up their back, and they do this weird dance, and they try to make themselves as big as possible, and they hiss and make noise and.
Right. They try to make themselves big and scary because they don't actually want to fight.
But it's which cat is the scariest is the one who kind of wins. And the same is usually true of humans. Like if you get crazy loud and scary enough, you might just scare them away.
Right. Being large has prevented me from a lot of dumb situations. I think I joked about it before. When I was in Thailand, I was hanging out with 3 fighters who all have more fights than I do. And one of them went, I've never felt safer walking around than when I hang out with you. And I'm like, between the 4 of us, we have like 100 fights. But because I'm large, you feel safe. He goes, yes. And I was like, that's fair.
Well, it's just an intimidation factor. By the way, that reminds me, I bring you up in almost every class now because I'll just talk about disparity of force where, like 2 sort of modestly large guys, that are like 6 foot, 250-ish pounds, if we get into a conflict, it's going to have to escalate to some sort of deadly force means like a knife or a gun or something before deadly force would be allowed. However, when it's someone like you, who is a seriously large, intimidating looking person to someone who doesn't know you, I'm going to be able to use deadly force sooner than you would if I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And one of the guys in the class yesterday asked me a really great question that now escapes me, even though I thought of it and I brought it up and we were talking about it. And what the fuck was the question? Fuck!
Something about disparity of force.
Yeah. What the hell was it? Because he specifically asked about you. Like, he asked, how does he handle, has he ever been in a situation where he was going to have to get into a fight? And I said, he's told me in the past he's never been in a fight.
Right.
And because he can't afford it. So he's just always either talked his way out of it or it just didn't happen. Yeah. So
of the situations that I've almost been in a fight for, the vast majority of the time you either have to de-escalate and put no threat to it, or you have to put all of the threat to it very quickly. And that's the part where I'm okay with it. And so I've had situations where I basically tower over people and I'm like, we're not doing this. This will end very poorly. And most of the time people's, like we said, their lizard brain goes, we fucked up. We should probably not be playing this game right now.
I have made a mistake and I'm going to learn from it.
Yes. Sometimes, playing the fool is always a great option. Like the amount of things you can get away with just being like, oh shit, my bad. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, that's my bad. That will get you out of so much dumb fucking shit. I highly recommend just being just be an idiot. Just, oh man, I'm such a fucking idiot. I didn't even see you there. That's my bad. like, I'm sorry I bumped your drink. Like, should we grab another one? Like, and just
well, and especially when that's actually the case. I was in I don't remember where I was just recently where it was sort of close quarters and I kept bumping into people. Oh, it was when I was down in when we were down in Waco last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now when this airs. There was a whole bunch of people in this welcome center at Baylor and there's lots of people around and I kept bumping into people. Of course, this is all, parents and kids of prospective college students and whatnot. And so the room was very different, or not different. It was just the odds of someone turning and going, hey, what the fuck, man? The odds of that happening were very low. That was not probably going to happen. But at the same time, though, like, I constantly, just because it's how people where I live are, like if you bump into somebody, you're like, oh, my bad. Oh, excuse me. You know, we actually do that. Whereas even when I lived in Denver, people just did that less.
Yeah, it is a really weird one because like I was at a rave last night, and most of the time when people would bump into me, they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, bud," like, or they'd turn around to me and go, "Oh shit, sorry," and I'm just like, "Oh, we good." But there was a few times where people would bump into me and not say anything, and I'm like, "Hey, fuck you, dude!" Like I was like, "Okay, that's where that comes from." But yeah, it's. I have that happen in sparring, like when my students are fighting each other, is if you land something hard and you just go, "Oh, dude, that landed harder than I meant to, my bad," immediately deflates everything. Sure. I suppose like sometimes people get pissed because it's like, yeah, we're sparring. What the fuck? Yeah.
Like you're going a little hard here, asswipe.
Yes. And that happens sometimes and it's annoying. But yeah, it's just throwing out a basic, oh shit, my bad. Take the blame. And it de-escalates it a lot. And so, yeah, the amount of conflict that I avoid doing that is substantial for how dumb I am when I am out sometimes. Like when I was at the country bar, you're supposed to ask the guy, like if normally I would ask women in groups if someone wanted to dance, but there was a few times where I would ask a woman and I realized afterwards that her man was standing next to her and like that could have caused issue. But the nice thing about country bars is you're like, oh, he's just a moron. He doesn't understand. He was supposed to ask me whatever. That's just what happens. And you just go, yes, I am moron. Thank you.
Oh God. I still can't believe you've never been in a fight. That's wild. Like, I mean, I don't count all the fights with my brother, like brothers fight. That's,
right.
I don't count those, but I still was in a few. I don't think I was in one after the age of, oh no, I was in one at like 19 or 20. I think it was probably the last actual fight I was in.
Yeah.
But
it was just, I mean, the school I went to, I think I saw 2 fights the entire time in 4 years of high school. And then like, I didn't really hang out at the bars till I was over 25. And then I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of wants to fight. Like I kind of like, I'm going to check how well my fighting works here in 2 weeks, but like, I'm kind of like, I do want to just get into a fight at a bar, but what I actually know will happen is I'm going to throw like 3 punches and it's going to be over. It's going to be really boring. And then I'm going to have to deal with a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just like 2 weeks away, or when this airs, less than 2 weeks away.
Yep. Week and a half.
Yeah. So, I was going to go with the Weitzel's, but they have a thing. They're not going anymore.
Yep. They're
working,
ROing a steel challenge or something like that.
Yeah. So, cause I just told Michelle, hey, just buy me a ticket and I'll pay back when I get there. And she's like, and then a couple weeks later, she's like, we're not going. Oh,
the event won't sell out. The tickets are $40 at the door. They're $35. Just get the general admission. It's going to be at the Liberty First Credit Union.
Do I know anybody who's going?
I mean, I think Steven told me. I know Austin said he's going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Jay said he's going to be there. So like there'll be people, and I'll be walking around. Like I won't fight until probably like 10 or 10:30 because I am the final fight of the night.
Oh, okay. So I'm definitely staying overnight then.
Yeah. No, I'm because I just confirmed that yesterday is because there was a conversation. So there's going to be like 2 or 3 pro boxing fights as well. And so sometimes what they'll do is they'll do like all the amateurs, then they'll do the pros. But what they're going to do is all the amateur normal fights, then they're going to do the pros, and then me and one of my other coaches are both going to have title fights that night. So yeah,
nice.
I'm
looking forward to it. I put it on my calendar. Like I reserved you on my calendar as soon as I found out about it. So
yeah, it'll be
you're the reason
fun.
I'm not having a class that weekend.
Yeah, it'll be good fun. Hopefully things go well, and then we'll have an after party at the country bar with me, hopefully not too beat up.
Yeah, I hope that as well. Hopefully you're victorious and you're not concussed. so
Correct.
that you can go to the. I mean, do concussions happen a lot in Muay Thai?
Oh yeah, no, I'm. If this dude gets a good shot on me, I'm going to get a concussion. Like that's like we are. I was talking to the promoter and he said that the dude's lost a little bit of weight, so we're probably going to be about equal at about 290 pounds each. But when a 290 pound man hits you, you fucking feel it.
No, that's not. I mean, I weigh about 278 right now, but if I hit you, I mean, you'll feel it, but not like you guys.
Right. So
For sure.
So yeah, it'll be. I don't doubt that I'm going to get a concussion. My goal is to not get hit. My goal is to break him before he breaks me. But when you show up to the fight, it's 50-50. There's no people are like, oh, like what do you think the odds are? I'm like, dude, I could walk out there, tap gloves, and he just throws the weirdest thing ever, and I go, oh shit, that happened. I mean, for UFC fans out there, Jose Aldo got knocked out by Conor McGregor in like 8 seconds, and Jose Aldo is one of the greatest like martial artists in history. So
Yeah, shit
happens.
It does happen. I am very much looking forward to it. That's going to be a good. If nothing else, like I'm just looking forward to hanging out with some Omaha peeps. I should probably get a hotel room down there within walking distance of the country bar.
Yeah.
What's the name of the country bar?
Guitars and Cadillacs. So
Guitars and Cadillacs.
It's
a song by Dwight Yoakam.
Which he probably made for. I wonder if they, because it's a chain of bars. I wonder if
is it owned by Dwight Yoakam?
It might. So
there's one in Overland Park, Kansas.
The nice thing is, so if you go to Liberty First Credit Union arena in Ralston, you're within walking distance of the bar. Like that's how close the bar is to the arena.
Oh, okay.
And there's a hotel like right next to the arena.
What's the name of the arena?
Liberty First Credit Union.
Credit Union Arena, Ralston, Nebraska. There it is. Oh, so it's like a hockey arena? Yep. Oh, yeah, and there's like a Holiday Inn Express right next door.
Yep.
And where's the bar?
Like 200 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Stupid Google's not opening like I needed to. But yeah, it's right there.
Your fight's on the 17th, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Friday the 17th.
I bet everybody loves listening to us do event planning.
I mean, they should just expect it at this point. I mean,
yeah, 100%. They absolutely should be expecting it at this point. Right on. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay. We did talk about the John Correa thing. One more thing we have to talk about in this episode. And this is, I didn't even know about this until I saw it in the rundown like 10 minutes ago as I was scrolling down. Oh, real quick before we get to this last topic. Quick tangent. I found the Sig Sauer Factory Gun Nationals presented by Barry's Bullets. I copied that exact phrase. I pasted it into the match search on Practice Score, and it found fuck all.
I feel less bad.
Now, before I pass judgment on that, I'm going into the admin of a match and looking to see if it can be hidden. Hide. Hide spell count, hidden results, password protected results, private match. Oh, sharing the registration link. So maybe they have it set as private until general registration. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But if you search Practice Score, you do not find it. So I'm guessing it's not Practice Score's fault. I'm guessing they have private match selected for now. Which I don't know why they do that. It's fucking stupid. But
right.
because you just go to the USPSA website, find the link, and go there. But maybe they're doing it so it forces people to go to the USPSA website because they think, oh, we'll make more money because we have fucking ads on the USPSA website, which drives me crazy that they did in the first place. Like, they put Google AdSense on the USPSA website. Like, get the fuck out of here. They're making like $100 a month tops, if that. It's so stupid.
Right?
Anyway, all right. The last thing for the show tonight is I think this is an abomination. I really do. I think this is that Metallica song from the Master of Puppets album, The Thing That Should Not Be.
Okay.
The Shadow 2 in 380.
Yes. So, I found this. I'd heard about it before, but I'd never seen it.
I had not heard of this.
So, this is one of those things, and this is my failing in not going down the rabbit hole of other country gun laws. So,
I do know why it exists.
yes.
But it's still an abomination.
Right. So for anyone who does not understand what we're talking about, in certain countries, you can't own specific calibers.
Particularly military calibers.
Yes, it tends to be a military caliber thing because the justification of it normally is they don't want soldiers, selling their ammunition to bad guys or people who they don't think should have ammunition. So if you can't own a 9mm gun, them selling you 9mm doesn't really affect anything, quote unquote. So CZ, being a capitalist company, was like, fuck it, we'll make a Shadow 2 in 380 auto. And it's for the Mexican market specifically.
Yep. I remember Steger talking about his podcast years ago. He was doing like a class down there, like a competition class, and everybody had 380s.
Yep.
Because they can't own 9mm. So they had like all these 380 Glocks down there, and he was shooting a 380 Glock while he was down there.
Yeah, so they actually, so in America, we only have 380s as pocket pistols. In Brazil, Mexico, and some other countries, they actually have the full size, like Glock 17 size pistol in 380. Which I think is hilarious. I have no idea why they don't sell it in America. I think it would be a fun gun to own because 380 is silly.
Somebody would buy that.
Yeah.
But even I'm trying to think of what the biggest 380 pistol on the market in the U.S. is, and it's probably that Beretta they came out with a couple years ago.
Yep. The like Cheetah or
it's the Beretta 85, I think is what it is.
Yep, and that's still like a Glock 19 size ish.
Yeah, it's still smaller, but like a compact Beretta 92 is still like the size of a Glock 17. So
yeah,
but that's not the one I'm looking for. Oh, this is some rando website.
But it is funny because way back in the olden days, like World War I, 380 was a full-size military caliber. Like, that was what most people carried. The pocket pistols were in 32 ACP and 25 ACP.
I actually saw some boxes of that ammo. It was some Hornady critical defense ammo at Shields a couple weeks ago, and I pulled it out, and all of that 25 ACP is so cute.
Oh, yeah, it's adorable.
It is the most adorable little pistol cartridge you've ever seen. Like, the case is almost as narrow as the small pistol primer.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically just a primer with a little bit of brass around it.
That's literally what it looks like. I'd never held one in my hand before. It was wild. But, yeah. Even though I know this is for our practical shooting brothers in Mexico who can only have 380s, I understand that's what it's for. But a 3-pound pistol in 380 is an abomination. I'm sorry.
I 100% want to own one, even though it's probably too small. Like
it's not legal in USPSA.
I fully understand that it is not legal in USPSA.
I'm sure glad that the minimum caliber is listed as 9mm and not 38 caliber because that would include 380.
Right, but then you'd have to do the power factor match with which Austin did in the comments, and at 50 grain projectiles, it would need to be like 2,500 FPS to make power factor.
Wow, yeah, because what is the biggest 380 bullet, like 90 grains, 100 grains,
That sounds.
something like that.
Let's see, 380. So 95 grains. Okay, so there's like 65 grain, 90 grain, 85 grain. So yeah, you could finagle
Yeah.
a little. But yeah, no, I would love it just because it would be great to teach people how to shoot with, because it's tiny,
Yeah.
but the gun is big.
Full size gun, little bitty cartridge.
Yes.
Very, very wild. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. Make sure you go if you like the YouTube, if you like listening to things on YouTube, it's just part of your life. We are on YouTube. Like, all our episodes are on YouTube now, and every episode going forward will be on YouTube. So someday we'll actually do video, but I don't have time in my life right now to devote to it unless Jeff has the time to devote to learn video editing.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, I'm thinking our best bet at this point is my son already has the tools in his bedroom. Maybe he is the one who we will have do that, and we'll just throw him some cash at some point. But I would have to get another I've got a camera that would be fine. I just need lighting. Like, you got a ring light for doing that other podcast, you traitor bastard.
Correct.
But it's a completely unrelated podcast, so I'm totally fine with it. I really don't care. Anyway, he is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is Not Another Shooting Show.